All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Curry, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. How much money do we need to be happy? That's like asking, how many lollies does my son need to eat till he feels like he shouldn't eat any more lollies? There is no answer. It's a very, very interesting question. It is probably one of the most challenging goals that many people have tried to attempt to achieve over the years. Many people feel that chasing money is going to make them happy. They feel that having all the money that they want is going to mean that they're not going to be sad and that they're going to be able to do the things that they want to do. And I can tell you now as a financial advisor that could be nothing further than the truth. Now, money is important, and personally, I got into financial planning because I've noticed, I've seen and experienced over the years that if you don't control money, it controls you. Money is one of those things where having lack of can sometimes restrict you doing the things that you love. And it can also mean that there are extra pressures in life and, mental pressure, for example, stress, money, anxiety, things that can stop you from achieving the things that you want to achieve or from having a happy life. But at the same time, it is very, very important, and we hear this all the time, that money isn't everything. Now, yes, I know there's that saying of, money does make you happy, because I forgot what it is, but it's something like, have you ever seen a man or a woman crying in a Ferrari? So I guess I get it. Money can create instant boosts of happiness, but at the end of the day, there needs to be some substance behind it. And the reason I just say that is because money comes and goes. There was a study done recently where they interviewed elderly people. So in their 80s, they've lived a long life, and they asked them, what are the things in your life that you valued the most out of your whole life? What are the things that you loved the most, that you value, that you enjoyed? And most of the answers, if not all of them, had nothing to do with money or possessions. It was nothing about, I love driving my car. I loved that, I loved even going on that holiday. Like, a lot of the things were more about spending time with my family and my friends and having grandkids and helping other people, and things that had literally nothing to do with money at all. These were the things that they treasured the most in their lives, and these are the memories that they treasured the most and the things they treasured the most. And at the end of the day, it is really important to always remember that, because at the end of, as people, as humans, what we do is we set these goals and we say, this is going to make me happy, or this is what I need to be happy. And they work towards that, but the issue is that the goalposts just keep moving. For example, a top NBA rookie player might earn $500,000 a year. And to a lot of us, $500,000 is a lot of money. And as far as the average person is concerned, most people would love to be earning $500,000 a year. But that person, for example, compares himself or herself to a high-ranking NBA player that might earn something like $10 million a year. So in that person's eyes, if he's comparing himself to the NBA player that's earning $10 million, by comparison, he's poor. And that NBA player, if he or she compares themselves to an executive of a successful IT company that earns $10 million a day, for example, and he compares himself or she compares herself to that person, then in that comparison, that person is poor. So at the end of the day, if you have goals strictly around money and nothing else, and if you think money is going to make you happy or satisfied or is going to make you feel rich, then unfortunately, I hate to break this to you, but you're never going to be fulfilled, because there's always going to be a goalpost that keeps moving, something that you need, something that's going to be better and better and better. And essentially you're on this hunt or this journey to try to achieve this happiness that's going to be achieved through money. Now, a lot of what I'm saying makes a lot of sense to most people, but unfortunately we forget these things all the time. And to me, even personally speaking, when I work hard for my family. So I'm always having to remind myself that I can't have ridiculous days doing 14 hours, 15 hours of work, for example, when I don't get to see my family, because it's sort of counteractive. I'm working for my family, but I don't get to see my family. Or there are people that, for example, do very physical jobs and they work, again, long hours, and they work really, really hard, and they literally destroy their bodies, and they neglect their health as well a lot of the times, to eventually be able to retire and have a happy, healthy life. But really, it's counteractive, because they're working for something, but when they retire, they just spend all that money repairing their life anyway, or they can't even enjoy it sometimes. So, we know these things, but we need to be reminded of them all the time. And I've talked about this all the time when I talk about budgeting, when I talk about all these things, that it's really important to have a balance. You can't just focus on the future and forget about now, and you can't just focus on now and forget about the future. It's about having that balance between the two. And as a financial advisor, I always remind my clients of these things, and we talk about these things regularly, especially if I can see that there's an issue where somebody's too much on thinking of the present and forgetting about the future, or only thinking of the future and forgetting about the present, and I can see that that person's not happy. So money comes and goes. At the end of the day, money is one of those things where, yeah, it makes you happy, but the second it's not there, that happiness is gone. So if your happiness is dependent on money, then that's a very, very scary position to be in. Oprah Winfrey, whose net worth is something like nearly $3 billion, has said, "I still know I am not my income. I am not the lifestyle my income can afford me. I let money serve its purpose, but I don't live to serve money." I think that's why we have such a beautiful relationship. And it's all about that perspective. It's all about the way you look at money, because at the same time as well, money's never going to change the way that you feel about yourself. And I can tell you that now. It's one of those things where, again, if you're chasing a dream, if you're chasing something that's eventually going to make you happy, it's probably not going to work. And it's most likely not going to work. And you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to achieve that financial goal, for example, and be like, wow, I'm still not happy. What's going on? Oh, wow, I need to achieve, it wasn't high enough. I need to go higher. So again, goals are so important. All these things are important, very important. But as I said, you can't do it hoping it's going to make you happy. And you can't neglect the personal side of this whole picture as well. Because when it comes to money, money is money, but without purpose, it's nothing. And you need to know why you're doing what you're doing, essentially. Because again, if you just keep saving money, for example, without a goal or without a purpose behind it, you're never going to be satisfied. Your initial goal might be to save $1,000. But if there's no reason that you're saving that 1,000, then really once you hit 1,000, you'll need to save 10,000. And then that 10,000 will become 100,000. That 100,000 will become $500,000, and that $500,000 will become $1 million. And you still don't know why you're doing what you're doing. There's a book called Out of the Darkness, written by Steve Taylor. And he says, the need for purpose is one of the defining characteristics of human beings. Human beings crave purpose and suffer serious psychological difficulties when we don't have it. Purpose is a fundamental component of a fulfilling life. So it's all about being fulfilled. And this is why you see many people, and we all know many people, and we've met many people, and we've all been in this situation before where we didn't have much money and we were still happy. If anything, a lot of people would say they were probably happier before they earned good money or had good money saved up. So today is a very simple episode, but it's a very important message. And it's that there's never going to be a figure of money that's going to make you happy. You need to make yourself happy. And if you're not, it's really important to have a discussion with someone. I have a discussion regularly with my clients about these things. But talk to someone about why you're not happy. Are you happy with your life at the moment? Are you happy with what's going on? Are you happy with work? Are you happy with your relationship? Are you happy with your friends? The health, your attention that you're giving your health, all these different things. And sometimes it could be the least obvious of all those points that is defining your happiness or is affecting your happiness. So it's important to go through that journey of reflecting, and it's really important to talk to somebody that you know is going to help you to be able to achieve that happiness without relying on money. And again, yes, money is very important, but as I said, if you rely on money to make you happy, you're setting yourself up for failure. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.